Hello, everybody. I am Yolanda Marie. I do have a message from the Arcturians today for you. This is so important. Let me just start by saying, so many of you are wearing armor right now. This is what they're talking about, okay? Some of you might have felt like you had to fight for your lives, okay? That may sound very dramatic, but either on the physical plane or in the etheric field, that might be what it has felt like for many of you. Now, some of you have softly and quietly engaged in battles, because we don't want to use the word fought all the time, because many of you won't relate to the fought part of it, the fighting part, okay, the aggressive part of this, but it includes you. And so let's just talk about why. If you have ever experienced any point in your life where you have expressed a view that was outside the status quo, even if it was when you were a child, and that's many of you, and you had to shut down or retreat into safety due to that, this includes you. It is part of what brought you here. It's part of the journey, okay? This isn't to bring you back into trauma, but this is to really bring forth why this is an important thing to bring into this sphere, okay? This collective, but this sphere, this quantum information. We want to reintroduce this briefly for this purpose. The Arcturians have a message about this, okay? All right. For those of you, and it's many of you, who have had to put on a lot of armor in the recent past, and it could have just been the past. We spoke about if it was when you were a child as well, and somehow it seemed more muted for the rest of that journey, you know, up until this point. This does include you, but there has been a great many of people, because of the surge in the influence of heart intelligence, there has been a pushback, meaning that many have had to put on armor that maybe they didn't have to have on before, right? So there's all sorts of different experiences happening within the human collective and the planetary experience, but also with those who are aware of a particular type of intelligence that they're bringing to the sphere in order to create something different. All right, now we know nothing is created or destroyed. All right, we do know that these are words. So what we're saying is we're using the quantum information that's already there to introduce the experience, the linear experience of something, let's call it new, for this planetary experience, okay? Just to be specific, I hear the scientific minds out there, okay? And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. But let's just point out that there are different ways to view everything. As usual, I'm in the kitchen, guys, and here come the kitchen noises as soon as I start to record, every time. All right. So many of you have had to put on a lot of armor in the recent past. Do not get comfortable inside of that armor. That's what the Arcturians are saying. Okay, that's what they want to say. That's the main point. Do not get comfortable inside of that armor. Instead, know that you can hold on to the knowledge, and I am reading here so I don't miss anything, okay? Know that you can hold on to that knowledge, that vast array of understanding, yet also still continue to move into a lighter array of frequencies, okay? So you can hold on to the knowledge and you will hold on to the knowledge, but you don't want to move and create, right? We're using the word create here. You don't want to move and create from within that sphere of the fight, within the quantum structure where the armor had to be put on in the first place, the stream that you separated from, okay? The stream that held too much of the quantum information that you don't want to recreate. So that armor that you have to put on will hold some of that memory. Quite a bit of it for a lot of you. It depends, okay? And so you can still move into a lighter array of frequencies while holding on to that knowledge, but while letting go of the actual armor. so that you can also experience what's coming in, because you will also have a degree of separation. This is coming through now. You will also have a degree of separation from what is coming in to be experienced within your lifetime if you are shrouded by the armor of protection that you needed in order to survive, to get to this point. The Arcturians are saying you will regain, and this may not sound like the truth to some of you yet, but it is there. This is truth. You will regain that childlike joy that you once had. Now, that is going to seem outlandish to some of you that have had such battles to fight. To think that you can have a childlike joy again, okay? But you can. And if you allow yourself to, you will regain that childlike joy that you once had. Give yourself a chance to laugh. That's what they're saying, okay? Give yourselves a chance to laugh, to play. You will not forget how to use the armor. You won't forget. If you need it, you'll be able to quickly put on the armor again or use tools from within that structure is what they mean, okay? Again, when you need it, it will be there. So let's just say that one more time, okay? And there's some throat chakra stuff going on. There's a lot of crackling and the kitchen noises are happening, and all of these things are happening. Okay, not a coincidence. When there is something wonderful trying to happen, and this is, you can look at this from two different perspectives, but let's look at it from purely a scientific, not 3D scientific, but a scientific perspective, okay? It's coming into the 4D, and as we move into the 5D, we are interpreting this more from a scientific perspective with tools, okay? But what's happening is when there's something wonderful that is going to take place, wonderful in the view of the collective and the planetary experience, what we want, okay? There's a pushback, there's a quantum pushback. Think of energy like a pendulum, okay? You will find this in Hermetic philosophy as well, all right? In the Kabbalion. Think of a pendulum and the swing of the pendulum. It is basically the balancing of weight, is basically what it is, okay? The measure to the right is also the measure to the left. Now, it does correct for certain things, and it will slow down and come to a center and a balance. But the measure of, even as it slows, it's going to correct to the measure of its latest degree, is what they're saying. I hope that's making sense. So yes, it slows and it moves a shorter distance each time. Okay, so it will be a very wide swing, and then the swing will decrease, the length of the swing, okay? But the countering will counter to the degree of the last counter, and then it will continue to correct in that way, okay? Through space and time, the Arcturians are saying. So there is a third degree to this that we are not yet encountering with our physical eyes. Okay. And so as this pendulum swings and corrects, this is why when something that we really want to happen, it swings one way, there's a countering, okay? So there's quantum information that comes in to counter what is trying to happen. It's natural. So that's the scientific way to look at this, okay? It can also be interpreted through other beings and experiences that in this linear experience don't agree with what's happening, or, are pushing against it in some way because it's unfamiliar. All of those things are part of the quantum correction that's happening that is temporary, because the overarching direction is expansion. Okay, it's getting lighter in frequency. It's moving in a particular direction. Okay, so that was a bit of we'll say it's a tangent. It's not really a tangent. It's needed information that was called forth. Okay, so someone needed to hear a few different ways that can be explained. Okay, this was not in any way a thorough explanation. This was an introduction to the explanation of this. Many of you will be able to carry this a lot further through your understanding or research, okay, or memories, or innate memories that are being expressed now through this DNA that has been sleeping and is now awakening. All right, so this is what the Arcturians want to say to you. When you need your tools, they will be there, okay? To get back to the original message, okay? So you can begin to let that armor lift off of you without the fear, okay? All right, everybody. That went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to go. So, yeah, there are some definite activations within this message. All right, I love you so much, beautiful soul family, and I will talk to you again. Take care of yourselves. All right, speaking of activations. All right, so take care of yourselves. Love you so much, soul family, and I will talk to you again very soon. Namaste.